Hello again, it's Rochelle with another story of the Memoirs of the Redheaded Hairdresser. So today I've chosen to share this story. Let's see, we're going to call him Crazy Drunk Cowboy. So, gotta love them dating apps. I met this gentleman from a dating app, and he kind of the cowboy thing, and even though I'm from a small town, not really my style, but he was cute. So I was like, all right. And we chit chatted for a while, and he seemed really nice. So he lives about an hour from me. And he asked me out. And I said, okay, but you're going to have to come to me. And he goes, that's all right. That's no big deal. That's not that far. I'm like, all right, starting off on a good foot. This is good. So he drives out here, and we met at the brewery here in town, and we had an amazing date. Pleasant conversation. He was the perfect amount of like friendly and flirty with me. He was even the perfect amount of friendly, flirty with the waitress. And I really liked him. And I was kind of surprised that I really liked him. And I was actually excited to see him again. And he called me a few days later to set up the second date. And I was actually really excited. And he put in a lot of effort. He said, how'd you like to go to a Bees game? Perfect. He goes, they're doing fireworks tonight after the game. It should be really fun. And I said, okay, that sounds perfect. I'm excited. So, and we had planned that I would drive out to his place and kind of get, a little bit of the pre-drink on kind of a thing. So we had a cocktail at his place, and we took the tracks train up to the stadium because it goes right to the stadium, and the track station was only about maybe 2 or 3 miles from his house, so not too far. So what we did is we took an Uber from his place to the track station. Then we rode the tracks train up to the station, and we went in, and we decided we wanted to be on the lawn. So he bought lawn tickets, and he spread out a blanket on the lawn. And then we went to the gift shop, and he bought me a Bees t-shirt. And then we went back to the blanket, and we were just sitting there chit-chatting, and he pulls a water bottle full of Fireball out of his boot. And then he pulls a water bottle that has Malibu rum and pineapple juice in it for me. And I'm like, oh, okay, so this is why you asked what kind of drinks I like. All right, cool. I didn't know that's what his plan was, but hence why we took an Uber. Okay, so we have a few drinks at the Bees Stadium, and we go get some food, and he orders another beer, and I don't know how much pre-gaming this guy did, but all of a sudden he starts getting really loud and really belligerent and like bad-mouthing everyone around us. Like, oh yeah, look at this kid over here. He thinks he's all that, and he's like pimpster clothes, and he's like, look at this little straight edge kid over here, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, shh, you're embarrassing me. And then next thing you know, he's like, kiss me. Come on, please kiss me. And I'm like, okay, this is a second date. We're in public. We're not going to have like a makeout session here. So like, I give him a little pet kiss, and I realize like, okay, this guy might be more intoxicated than I think he is. I don't know. But he just kept getting more loud and mean with his comments, and being very affectionate with me, and it's unwanted affection, and I'm trying to be like, there's other people, like, let's be respectful. And he's kind of ignoring my hints and my signals that I don't want to be super affectionate on a second date. And then he's like, you know what? He's like, let's just leave. Let's just go. I don't want to be here anymore. Let's just leave. And I'm like, but there's fireworks after the game. I wanted to watch the fireworks. Remember, that's why we came to this specific game. Oh yeah, I forgot. And then less than a minute later, he's doing it again. Let's just leave. And I'm like, no, remember the fireworks? And then by about the fourth or fifth time of him pulling this little stunt, I'm super annoyed and I just want to go home. So I'm like, all right, fine, let's just leave. And he goes, oh, but wait, there's fireworks. And I'm like, really? Yeah, no kidding. So he's like, well, let's watch the fireworks. I'm like, okay. So we watched the fireworks, and we gather up our stuff, and we're walking to the track station to get back on the train to go back to his place. And we wait there for, I want to say, like 14 minutes. And the train said it would be there in 17 minutes when we got there. So he's like, I have to pee. I have to go to the bathroom. And I'm like, there's no bathroom here. Like, no, please, no. I don't want to miss this train. He's like, well, I gotta go. And he just leaves me there. I don't have the tickets. So it's not like I can just get on the tracks train and leave him there. So I'm like, what do I do? So I'm just praying he'll get back. And he comes back right as the train is pulling up. I'm like, oh, thank God. So we get on the tracks train, and we're sitting on the train, and there's this father and this little boy sitting across from us on the tracks train. And he's like, kiss me. Why won't you kiss me? Please kiss me. I'm like, there's a little boy sitting in front of us. Like, please be respectful of other people. And he's getting annoyed with me, and I'm super annoyed with him at this point. I'm like, have you gotten our Uber set up for when we get off the tracks train? He's like, oh yeah, I need to do that. And he's fumbling through his phone, and he can't figure out which app is the Uber app, and he can't figure it out. And I'm like, do you want me to help you? And he's like, stay away from my phone. You don't need to be looking in my phone. And I'm like, I'm not trying to look through your phone. I'm just trying to help. And he's like, oh my hell, I can do this myself. I'm like, okay. And he finally gets it arranged, and he can't remember the address. So I'm looking it up for him, and I'm giving him the address, and he gets it all set up, or so I think. And so I look and I say, okay, we're waiting for a black Suburban from the tracks station. And we get off the tracks train, and there's no black Suburban. And I'm like, where's our Uber? And he's like, I don't know. Let's go find it. And we were walking around. There's not a black Suburban in that hospital parking lot that's next to the track station. And there's nothing there. And I'm like, well, can you pull up your app and see where it is? So he opens up the app on his phone, and he has canceled our Uber. And I'm like, no. Like, we need to call him. We need to get him back here. And he's like, what's your problem? And I'm like, please, can we just call him? So he's like, he hands me his phone, and I call the Uber driver. And he's like, oh yeah, it just got canceled. And I said, no, he messed up. He didn't mean to do that. Can you please come back? He's like, yeah, I'll turn around. It'll be like 5 minutes. I'm like, okay, please hurry. So as we're sitting there waiting for the Uber to get there, all of a sudden, he gets really angry with me, and he goes, I don't even know why the hell you're with me. You're like one of those girls that should be with a doctor or a lawyer. I don't even understand why you're with some cowboy like me. And I'm like, I don't know. Like, I just want to go home. Like, why are we having this conversation? And he's like, started calling me every name in the book, like every name you can think of. He starts calling me every name in the book. And he goes, I don't even know what you're trying to do here. And I'm like, I just want to go home. And honestly, like I'm looking at him, how am I going to get to that pocket knife in his pocket before he does? Because he was just completely out of his mind, like being super rude to me. And I'm thinking to myself, like, who am I going to call? I'm an hour away from where I live. Who lives around here that will come get me? And I'm just scrambling in my brain because he is just screaming at me in this parking lot. And I'm like, I didn't do anything. I didn't do anything to you. Like, please calm down. And he's just like off the hook. Then the black Suburban finally pulls up and he goes, who's that? Is that your effing boyfriend? I'm gonna effing kill him. And I'm like, oh my God, it's our Uber. Will you just get in? So I climb into the back seat. He jumps into the front seat with the driver. And I'm like, okay, well, I'd rather him be up there anyway, so whatever. And he just starts cussing and swearing in this thing. He's like, you believe this? Like, I try to be a nice guy. I go on a date and now she doesn't want to have anything to do with me. Like, I don't understand what the hell. Like, this just keeps happening. And I'm like, oh my God, oh my God. And it's like F word after F word after F word with this guy. And I'm like, you know, we don't know him. Like, maybe try to be a little respectful. Maybe, like, tone it down. And he's like, don't tell me what to effing do. And he's screaming at me. And I'm like, okay. And the Uber pulls up in front of his house. And this is a huge lesson I learned that night, okay? But so I jump out of the Suburban. I run into his house because I know that back door is unlocked. And I run into his house and I grab my purse that I left on his kitchen counter. Don't ever leave your stuff inside their house. Number one rule. But I grabbed my purse and I ran out. I got in my car. And as I was getting in my car, he's, walking towards the house. He's like, hey, where are you going? I'm like, I gotta go, bye. And I just peeled out of that neighborhood. My heart was pounding. Like I had just escaped death. I was so scared. And so I leave. I get home. And I am just like, oh, thank God I got out of that one. And next morning, text message. Hey, good morning, beautiful. How are you? Are you insane? So he texted me like 3 or 4 times that day. Good morning, good afternoon, all this like, how's your day going, beautiful? And I'm like, this guy can't be for real. I ignored his messages for 3 days. On the 3rd day, I got a message from him on the dating app. Are you ignoring me? Are you mad at me? So I wrote him, I said, look, you got drunk out of your mind at that baseball game. You were rude to me. You were rude to everyone around us. You started calling me every name in the book. I never want to see you again. Lose my number. And he's like, oh, okay. Yeah, sorry about that. So, lesson learned, never, and I mean never, leave your car keys or your purse at somebody's house. Just because they were nice on the first date doesn't mean they're nice. So, yeah. Lesson learned on that one. Crazy drunk cowboy guy was not as nice as he seemed on date 1. See you next time.